Welcome to the panel ATL, your weekly podcast covering sex, love, dating, and living in Atlanta. This is y'all first episode. My episode 1.2, I guess.
1B.
Yeah.
I like that, 1B. So everybody want to go around and introduce themselves?
I'm Travon, the fabulous Travon.
Excuse me.
We're not worthy enough.
Right. All right, so I'm Erik Joseph.
I am Danielle, also known as Danjiggly.
Yes.
Yes, Danjiggly.
Yes.
And I'm Avery. Still an alcoholic. Day 2.
Me too.
Right.
Whenever Diijai finally find his way to the stage, I assume he'll be joining us shortly.
You know, divas have to be fashionably late.
Bitch, this Mariah Carey hoe gonna be.
You brought you a burger.
You a whole vegetarian.
But I got a question though. He said that he's 11 minutes away, so that means my burger is gonna be cold anyway once I get here, right?
True.
Yeah.
True. It is.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Anybody have a topic we want to start off with? Since we still going off of like not having a outline and a flow.
We can talk about sex.
Okay, because we didn't get a chance to cover that much on the last episode. And I like talking about sex.
I do.
Me
I
too.
do.
I like having sex.
When's the last time you had sex, Dale?
Yesterday. 20 minutes ago, what y'all talking about?
That's why I was late.
Right.
Y'all don't even want to know.
We do want to know though.
What? Right. How long ago?
I'm a plead the fifth on that one.
Oh, you got to take a shot if you plead the fifth on the show.
Right.
That's a shot.
Oh man. How do I take the shot?
It's spill or swallow, and you got to swallow now.
Just
swallow it.
Just do it.
I gotta look in the mirror and do it.
Take the shot.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I guess when's the last time y'all had sex? And was it good?
Wasn't the last time I had sex?
And was it good?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that since I'm dating someone right now.
Are you dating? Who you dating?
right.
You probably got... Wait.
Because if he listens to this,
So it wasn't him?
No, it was not him.
Well, bitch, if he's listening, he already knows.
This is before you guys started dating.
But I mean, I'm single still, so
Oh, this is
Well,
casual
was it
dating.
good?
yeah, it was. It was for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
And his birthday was
son.
last Friday.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Happy
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. 23.
Did you say it was good or bad?
It was really lovely. It was lovely. We never made it past the door.
Ooh,
Got that
wait.
back crack.
I'm trying to figure out what side of the
Car?
Well, no, okay, so
You got in the door and didn't make it beyond that.
no, okay, so I have this friend who lives across the street from me, and we made a negotiation on having sex with each other. We're around our friends. A lot of people don't know we're actually having sex, but if he can't find the one, or if I can't find the one, then
On what date was that? Your birthday was the day that was set, or this was like in general?
This is in general.
Okay.
I mean, eventually I'll start having sex with him once I commit. But I mean,
Even though it's good, I don't know.
He never really said it was.
He said it was lovely.
it was lovely. It was lovely. I said we haven't made it to the door. Like, when I went into his apartment, I told him to take off all his clothes. When you open the door, your clothes should be naked. And so we went in, and we never made it past the door.
That sounds like good. That sounds like
a good session,
sex
right?
to me.
Oh, yeah.
So if it's good, you can just
It
stop
was
like
lovely.
that.
Y'all trying to
be all
feed
cute.
her.
I'm trying to be, no, I would see,
Trying to have some cool-
Did y'all fuck each other brains out or no?
No,
That's
right.
like,
That's all
let's
we
get
trying
to
to
the
figure
point.
out.
Lovely shit don't mean shit. Y'all
we
ain't
did.
married.
We had amazing birth sex. So.
I've never had verse sex in my life.
What?
And I feel like I'm missing out.
You are.
Wait, no, I lied. God damn it. The person I'm with now was the first time I had verse. Yeah, first time I had verse sex. It was good. I take that back. I have had verse sex. It took me 25 years to have it. But it took me 18 years to have sex, so hey.
I like verse sex.
I waited till I was 18 too.
Really?
Yeah.
Girl, look at us. I took a peek. The little church people came and you had to make a promise. and you had to get a little pretty ring and set a date. Mine was 17, and I went a year past that.
I don't know.
You.
This preacher came to our church and preached this sermon.
Girl, no, they showed us pictures.
No, he's preached this sermon that was so good.
I got
it made
worried
it sound like
because you were like, this preacher came.
Oh,
and I was
no.
preacher?
He came and she came.
No. He came when I was about 13. He came to the church and preached this sermon where he described hell. He described it where you could taste it, smell it, see it. He described it so
Girl,
good.
you was in the IMAX 3D movie.
He described it so good. And I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't going to hell.
But see, I'm curious about that tactic because I didn't have that one. I had the one where they showed you pictures of what your dick and pussy would look like if you had sex. And I was just like, oh no, like.
What the hell did that shit look like?
It was bad.
It was probably, like one of those gonorrhea pictures or something.
They showed us about the time when people had to clap and they do you know why they call it the clap?
No.
Because they had to put 2 boards in between your penis to get the infection out.
Oh my God!
I wasn't for it. I was however old I was in middle school, and I just was not trying to get clapped.
You for real right now?
I swear to God, that was at Floyd Middle School.
Wow.
In Smyrna, Georgia.
Bitch, what?
I
never knew that.
I don't know if it's true. I need to fact check it, but it stopped me from having sex.
Wow.
Well, let me take that back. I was clearly sucking dick in elementary school. We're not gonna talk about that. But I didn't have penetration sex until I was 18.
And that's a whole nother conversation.
Sucking dick in elementary school.
I was sucking dick at a young age.
Y'all never had play cousins and shit. Y'all used to play.
I did. I had one.
But I still counted that as sex.
I don't count that.
I realize a lot of people don't count head as sex. Like, I realize that.
Head is not sex to me.
Okay.
I just feel like it's like pleasure.
It's a particular type of sex.
It's a massage.
It's a massage.
It's an oral massage.
Oral massage.
Hey, a massage is a massage.
I lost my virginity when I was 14 to a female, and I lost my male virginity at 16.
How was that?
Which one?
Both.
Let's see. Well, the girl
clearly wasn't that good because you had to come back knocking at that back door like, what's good?
The girl, she was, it was her first time too, so it was kind of like we were asking each other like questions and stuff, and I was like, so I put it in here. Because, women have like 3 holes or whatever. So, I think it's the pee hole, then it's the vagina hole, then it's the asshole. But all of it is intertwined with each other.
Wait, no.
That's legit.
Like, I'm gay, because
no.
I don't know the structure of a vagina as well as I should.
But girl, did you take PE classes?
I want to say, the whole rule, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. Like, there's space.
Do you know what women pee out of?
Yeah, it's like the pee hole is on the top of the vagina, right?
Okay.
That's it, right?
I mean,
when they be in movies, they be like some wrong hole fool.
You know you took the test. You know you took the test in like school, and they be like, it was a short answer, and they be like, I guess that's
right. Well, we'll give you a couple points.
I'll give you 2 points.
Yeah. I don't know.
But then the guy, when I first lost my virginity, I actually ended up dating him. He's no longer alive.
Oh.
But yeah.
Girl,
but
what's his name? Because that was the same situation with me.
His name was Justin.
Oh no,
that scared me. I was like, oh my God, what are
you saying?
Atlanta is small, but he was from Texas though.
Oh no, he was from.
They say I ain't gonna talk bad about the dead. Honestly, truly, I will not.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's weird. I have very high standards as a young kid. Like, my standards.
For females and not men?
Yes, for females.
Oh God, that is a deeper situation.
I've gotten past that. Therapy has helped a lot. But yeah, don't judge me. I feel judgment in the room.
I'm not judging.
I'm judging the fact that, well, he said it in the change, but I'm trying to figure out why he had higher standard for women instead of men.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, okay, when you're saying, so like you're fucking fat, like a. Say what you gotta say.
Just say what you gotta say.
Like somebody, I'm just like,
because I won't say I got offended, but I took it a different way. So I want you to explain it.
No, so like growing up, like as a boy, you don't talk to other boys. Therefore, you have no standard set in your mind for if you're messing around with a guy. Whereas with girls, especially growing up in the deep south, it's like, especially being intelligent in the deep south, oh, you need to find a girl that's this. There's all these standards that were set. So even as a young child of who I'm gonna be with and who are you gonna marry and all this stuff. Like, so when it came to me dating, it was like, I see myself, like, as a young age, like, I saw myself a lot of potential. So I'm like, oh, whoever I marry, like, at the time, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh, I gotta find, like, literally my standards were like, oh, she gotta be, like, pretty tall. She gotta be a dancer. Goes to Julia. I was not like literally like a ballet artist, not like a stripper, like an artist. Like I was like, she had to this, that, and all. Like all, twerking wasn't even a thing when I was 12. But I was just like, she needs to be like super artistic, super smart. Like I had the perfect thing built. Like, and as I got older, I'm like, one half of that crap is unrealistic, and then once I realized like. Really? Really?
That's a song.
Really?
I know my mom was a thought because she know him. That's all I got.
Oh.
I hope she doesn't listen to this episode. I'm going to be cussed out. There's no possible way that I'm not. But
my mom's not listening to this episode at all. I'm going to talk about episode 2 or 3.
I don't think my mom can listen to this episode, but she's very open-minded in the family. Like, she talked about sucking dick and... She's talking about
sucking dick.
Yes, she
I
does.
wish my mama would.
Yeah, my mom never talked to me about any of that.
Exactly.
I remember I joked with her about touching a man some kind of way, and she got really mad at me. Don't talk to me like that.
My mom was texting, and I told her, "Girl, bye." Like, you know, and she got offended. She said I was disrespecting her.
My mother, sex was very open in my household. My mother would talk about it. She'd be like, so do you be riding the men, or do you ride, or do you give them the dick or whatever? And I'm like, Mom, that's none of your business. Yeah. And she was like, I just want to know what my son doing. Like, I want to know if he's taking the dick or not. I just want to know.
My mother knows.
My mother cannot know how much I'm taking. She just can't. No.
My mother's never asked.
She don't even need to know.
I don't want to know nothing about anything
related
to my dating life. So
I can only have one male friend, and his name was Michael. And we had to have that door open. My mama didn't play that games.
Yeah, my mom was.
Wait, did she know or?
Yeah. Oh God, now we on my life.
You the one who was like hit shit. The only time parents like you gotta keep the door open is when they don't trust you what you about to do.
Well, it was always the door open, but then my best friend, shout out to Franny, who's no longer my best friend.
Ooh.
Nothing shady. Like we just went different paths in life. I wish her the best. Yeah, she was white. That's when I went to like performing arts high school. I had all white friends. But
what was your major in performing arts high school?
I was a drama major, vocal minor my first year. Second year, drama major, technical theater minor.
Wow.
I went to New World School of the Arts in Miami. So I was in opera theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. I could have made it. I was on the road to go to Juilliard. When you mentioned that, I was like, oh, I was on the road. I didn't try out, but I did make it to Cleveland Institute. Didn't go.
We're gonna hold that conversation.
Just wasted it.
But my friend Franny, she had to babysit, and she wanted me to come with. So she asked my mother, and it's like, this bitch Melvin, y'all.
Yeah, he's calling you guys.
Sorry, Diijai. So do I tell the story in pause or no? I guess we'll just move into a break. Everybody go take a shot while we take a damn break.
We take a shot. Yes. Got carried in.
Yes, let me.
Welcome back to the panel. As you can hear, Mariah Carey finally walked into the building.
Yes, it's bleak, darling.
He gonna come up in here with some white shades.
Right. Like,
where that burger at, though? Where the burger at? Look, my fat ass.
In the bag.
Looking like a piece of burger.
You can pass it to me if you want to, I'll take the burger.
I didn't get any fries. My pie's in there, though.
Your pie?
My pie.
Do anybody want to share this burger?
I'll share.
You will? Okay. See?
So I didn't know you didn't eat, though.
Because I want to drink. I want to put stuff in my stomach.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump in. We're in the show show. So go ahead and introduce yourselves. They've
Hi,
been waiting on you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, guys. I'm DJ, the singer. What else am I telling them?
Bitch.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
You can
cool.
do a little
Hi.
note. You
Do a note.
Come on,
like a little
Michelle.
run.
I know you haven't warmed up. You
Give me a
haven't done your
run.
vocal practice.
Let's see.
Now don't be a Mariah.
Don't give you a Mariah song. Okay, because I surely was gonna.
No, that's
what's the
fine. You
song?
can do a Mariah song. Just sing it like old Mariah.
When you love someone so
That is my
deeply,
song.
they become your life. That's just peace.
So can you write us an intro for the show? Because I think we don't have one.
Possibly done.
I know who can make the beat for you, but we'll talk about that after the show. We gotta have a conversation. Guys.
Thank you for the burger, boo.
No problem, babe.
Girl, you're welcome because it was my burger.
Thank you too,
You're
girl.
welcome. Let Michael be
You don't
known.
even like meat, though.
You're right. I don't like meat.
I like meat.
I don't like
Sausage.
I cannot. So, I guess we're talking about my coming out story. So anyway, so she wanted me to come with her to babysit. And I swear the whole scene was like slow motion. It's like I knew it was happening, but I couldn't stop it. And she was like, yeah, I want, Caffrey, anyway. Social media name Avery, but she was like, I want Caffrey to come over and I want to help. And it's fine because I already talked to them and they already know that he's gay. And I was just like, it was like, bitch, what? Bitch, how? So it was like after that, my mother, she was like, come here. And she was good. I have a great story of coming out compared to the stories I've heard. My mother was like, I'm not mad. I already knew. Which made it worse. I really wanted her to be mad. Like, bitch, I went hide
That's why
shit
she
from
want them
you.
little boys in your room. She already knew.
Went through all of
Probably.
that for nothing.
It's a side note on that. My mom always had to stay of, I already know what you're doing because I've already done it. You ain't slick. And I was just like, girl, I ain't doing nothing.
So, in part, she's telling you she's been with a woman before.
Oh, no, my mama don't play that. Oh, she as
So
far
your
as
mama
that,
don't like
we ain't gonna
Kit Kat.
disrespect my mama.
I
don't
love
like
your
that.
mama. What's your
My
mama
mama
name?
like that.
What's your mama name?
Girl, keep moving.
Janice.
Anyway.
Your mama's name is Keisha for real.
No, I said shut up. But
Keisha, she likes cat.
that was my coming out story. I had a good one compared to the ones I heard. But she was just mad. She was like, I wish you would have told me instead of someone else telling me. But that was it.
Wow.
It wasn't bad.
My coming out to my mom.
How do straight people come out? Do you be like, hey, mom, I'm straight? Just want to remind you, girl.
No, I'm not straight.
It's not
Wait.
straight.
I'm bi. I'm bi as fuck.
Oh,
High five. We had this conversation.
Yeah.
so Lakeisha's the only straight female here.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
She's the only female here.
I'm not a woman.
So you can go next. Tell me about this. How many women you been with?
Like 5, 6.
Are you a pillow princess?
No.
Ooh!
Oh, yes.
Shut me up.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, what happened is I had this breakdown because I messed with this girl. This is a very messy story. I'm not gonna. Maybe one day I'll tell all of it.
Oh, girl, tell us names.
Her name. Oh, you want me to tell her? Okay.
I ain't trying to be Portia. I was served that cease and desist. So,
But basically, I had this breakdown over this situation, and I told my mom about it. And she just was like, Danielle, why did you do that? And I said, I don't know. I just wanted to. What do you mean you wanted to? And I'm like, I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to try it. So this was the only time, right? And so I said, I mean, I'm probably going to do it some more, just not with her. No, this is it. That's the only time. That's the only time. You're not gay. And I'm like, I know I'm not gay, Mom. I'm bi. You're not bi either. This was just a one-time thing, okay? I said, no. She's like, that's it. That's what you're telling me. It's one time. My mom, when she gets mad, she starts like really pronouncing every letter.
Damn.
So that was my coming out. So to her, it's only been that one time.
Oh, at least y'all got reactions.
What is yours?
So I was kind of savage with mine. So I called, cause I was like, I gotta get the background. So I was talking to this guy from back home. Like he was like, he got outed and was just like going through it, like crying over the phone with me and whatever. And me being all in love and shit for some damn reason, I was like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna come out to my parents too, since you got outed. So I called my dad and talked to him over the phone about
You
it.
was in love at the time?
At the time.
Okay, because I'm like, bitch, ain't no... Never mind.
Stop. So I called my dad and I was like, and I just told him, I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I like both women and men. Like, and I left it at that. And he was like, well, son, and I'm sitting here like waiting to get like cursed out, like waiting for the F word to be thrown out. He was like, well, son, I mean, you love who you love. Like, you can't, like, I can't judge you over that. And I was like, wow. Mind you, my dad's a complete fuck nigga. So it's like, he really couldn't say nothing else.
Because I was ask, like, is your dad a Hawaiian? Because that's kind of like how you made him sound. He's like, yeah, you know, dude.
Nah, he told like a fuck nigga. So I'm sitting here like, nigga.
Wait, we gotta talk about that.
I don't care. I called him that to his face.
We gotta talk about that. Like, how does a fuck nigga talk?
We'll wait. So he was like,
thanks to you, we only got 10 more minutes to record.
But he was just like, no, I mean, you love who you love. I can't judge you. Whatever. Mind you, he's been very absent. He was very absent in my life. Wasn't really around. So I'm like, nigga, either you gonna accept this, or I'm just gonna stop talking to you completely. It's not really a big deal. For my mom, I knew I couldn't have the conversation over the phone with her because one, she's a Cancer, and two, I just knew that it was gonna be emotional. So and as horrible as it sounds, basically sent her this long text message like explaining everything, and I just hit send, and I was like, okay, just gonna wait to see what happens.
Let it do what it do.
She never responded. Like, never said anything. She barely talks about it. Mind you, that was, let's see, I'm 27, so that was 5 years ago. Now, like, she's met, like, well, now a couple of my exes and everything. She still doesn't talk about anything related to them. It's like, I could be dating them. She will never ask, oh, how is such and such doing?
She call them a friend?
She don't even call them friends. Oh. She just don't ask.
How you your friend?
Like, she don't even ask. She just, like, she's like, whatever. But the thing about it is, my mom was the same way when I was dating girls. She never wanted to know. Because I think her thing was, this is my baby. I'm not ready for my child to be, like, dating people. My mom thought I was a virgin when I was like 18. No, when I was like 19, and I was like, oh, right. Really? Really? DJ didn't hear that part of the story.
What?
We knew you weren't a virgin the day we met you.
Oh my God. We're grown.
Right. We can look and tell that he wasn't a virgin.
How can you look and tell somebody not a virgin?
You know, the way he was licking his lips outside that day. And
no, bitch, I think he was just trying to get
licking my lips.
No, like he was outside. Okay, so he was outside, right? And, you know, I'm walking around. I'm like, hey, hi, how you doing? Hi, darling. You know, just hug, kiss, mwah. You know, let me get a splash of that. Yes. And,
maybe
you know.
just wanted to taste too.
No.
Where was this?
This was
I want to know about this.
We were at 10 Lizzie's, right?
Can I watch?
So I'm sitting here like, what?
I was sitting over there by Travon. So he's looking and he's just like, you know.
You was not sitting by Travon. You was sitting by,
I was sitting next to Travon. It was Travon, me,
you
the
sitting
other
next to
girl.
Travars.
I mean, this is Travon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shout out to Travars.
Right. Shout out to Travars. So I was sitting next to Travars, you know, and then it was me, and then it was the other black girl who said, yeah.
Can we not name people who on the show?
Sorry. I can't think of what her name is, but she was there.
Paris.
Yes, her. And then it was you, and he was just looking around the table, you know, them lips, they were all wet.
You sure
and I was like,
you sure that wasn't
food?
he wasn't eating. He's like,
Are y'all each other?
No,
I don't.
Well, actually, he does look like one of my exes.
Like
but
that.
no.
Why you gotta
Which
say
one?
like
The one
that?
I know?
Which one? No,
I
not that
hate
one.
it. I
The
can't.
one before that one.
Who?
You.
Oh, he knows the ex that you know. And that's why we gotta talk. Yeah, we'll talk about it after.
No, never mind.
No,
What's the
right.
first letter?
No, I'm not doing that because I know he listens. I know he's gonna listen, so no.
Well, please share it. Share it.
Right. He's probably gonna share this and he's gonna be like,
Well,
don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later.
All publicity is good.
I want to know
Right.
about the lips. I mean, the lips.
You
licking.
sure it was me
Can you
and
like
not-
show? Even though
You
they
sure it
can't
was me?
see.
'Cause-
Oh, he was doing
that was
all
not
of
me.
that.
That's not me. I don't act
You
that.
was doing
I
all
don't
that.
act like that.
All right, guys.
I know it was, but it was not me.
Let me talk about my coming out story.
Yes.
It's a bit complicated because
I'm
my
not
brother's
being
gay
serious.
as well. So I
Have you ever messed around?
Huh?
Have you ever messed around?
No.
I'm sorry, girl. You gotta. I always want to ask somebody like when people. You know what? That's a wrong question because I can't assume. But I can't assume because my sister she's a lesbian, so of course you wouldn't mess around. But I always was curious when like two of the same sex brothers and sisters turned gay. Was there ever a moment like a little something in the shot? You know, y'all be taking them baths together. And y'all be
That's called incest.
Wait.
That's called incest.
So,
I mean, it's never happened to me.
did you ever tap your sister's cat?
First of all, I didn't. the sister that y'all know, I met her when I graduated high school. The
So
other
could've
sister
never
was
happened.
super grown.
Were y'all bumping cats?
No, we weren't bumping no
Bumping
cats.
cats?
I did see my other sister naked once, and it just.
That's what turned you
out.
It's a lot going on down there.
See,
but,
coming out was a little bit different. I came out in high school to my friends first, and then I was in love with this boy. I'm not going to mention his name.
was it long distance?
Yeah.
Always
Because he went to
always
UGA,
long
and I went to
Oh,
Ron
wow.
Hart University.
One time
When he went to Albany State.
And we kind of was just in love with each other, and I told my dad, and you know, my dad was basically like your dad. He basically was just like, I love you, you know, I'm not for homosexuality, because he's like church, whatever.
Oh, mine never said that. He could care less.
You know, he was
Girl,
like, I
give
love
a
you
fuck.
regardless because you're my son. My mom, on the other hand, see, they was just real slick. My mom is real shady. She'll ask me other type of questions. I'll be like, we'll have like a sex conversation, and my mother will just be like,
For
so.
you. Clearly. I'm sorry. This your story, and I done took it over.
My mother would really be like, so she said, do you be having sex, Trayvon? I'll be like, so, yeah. It's just like male or female.
Ooh.
She'll ask questions like that, and I'd be like,
They were grinding hot dogs,
Right.
wasn't they?
What?
But then I would say I recently was engaged to somebody, and that's kind of when I came out. And she was like, I know everything. I know. And he's going to be your future husband. I just know it. And I was like, okay. But so my coming out story it's a little funny, but it's not like too much, At least I didn't get, I hear like coming out stories about like people who get raped and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, that's terrible.
That is
super terrible.
Are you?
What's your coming out story, DJ? I want to know.
Well, let's start here at the beginning.
The beginning of time?
Yes, from the beginning of time.
Have you ever been with a female?
Yeah, many.
Ooh! What's your status in the bedroom?
I would just say this: I am sexually fluid,
Oh, these bitches.
and
Sorry, because
what's wrong with
these
that?
about to be in my mentions. I do
And,
apologize. That is
as
a
long
thing.
as it doesn't involve blood, shit, or animals, we can.
What about underage children?
And underage children, we can. Thank you. We can.
Practice coitus?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Fornicate?
What's the word?
mix.
Yes,
Of course.
we can mash
Dang
potatoes.
ugly.
We can.
Color.
Yeah, we can color. I like that word.
Sex
I,
and
I
City.
like that. We can color,
color.
all over the newspaper.
Mm.
Oh, why a newspaper?
It will be
That's such a
headlining.
dying periodical.
Yeah.
I didn't. Speaking of coloring all over the newspaper.
Ooh.
You was not going to talk about this man on this show.
Ooh.
Never mind, sorry.
We
Ooh.
already.
Oh,
yeah.
Muddy Bear. No, we're not gonna talk about that.
Wait, does he know you call him that?
I think everybody around Muddy Bear knows that I call him Muddy Bear, except for Muddy Bear.
Is it Muddy Bear because he was? What is it?
Wait,
What,
is
look,
it-
I know.
I was saying,
what-
is it? Wait, are you saying Muddy Bear or
Yeah.
Muddy
He
Bear?
like Picasso.
Muddy Bear.
Oh.
Muddy.
Yes.
Van Gogh. Van Gogh, sorry.
I know the story.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I
Yes,
heard.
you
I know the story.
Yes, you know
No,
the
I
story.
heard
wait.
the story.
Okay.
Let's not tell the story.
We're not gonna tell the
I know,
The
story.
people listening should have got it.
Let's just
Van
figure it
Gogh,
out.
Van Gogh,
DJ, when did
Picasso.
you
But I just
Your
need to know
virginity.
something, right?
When did I
Is
lose
it
my
about what I was talking
virginity?
about that day?
What was you
What?
talking about?
When I said when it was the
Your stomach upset. That's all you need to know.
Okay, that's
So,
it. That's
yes.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
it was. Oh my god.
But instead of having two holes, there was one.
Wait, what?
You're confused,
Now
sir.
that is some Kofifi right there. That is it. That's it. That is it. Now to answer your question, I lost my virginity. I was a hoe. I've always been a hoe. No, I'm just playing.
What did I say? Episode 1, being a hoe.
No, I'm just kidding. I've never been a hoe, but I've been around the block, and I've skipped around the block sometimes. But
park in some garages.
did I park in some garages?
And some driveways.
No, just the handicap spot. So
Yeah.
I lost my virginity legitimately at the age of 17, and if I had it my way, I would still be one because
I want my virginity.
I've had some very, very bad sex i.e. Muddy Bear. And I just don't want to do it anymore. I just can't.
Can you send this man a link so he can listen to the show?
I can't.
Give me the number. I'll text him anonymous.
So we can post it. I follow him on Instagram. I can tag
You know him?
No, I don't know him.
Oh, you follow him?
I follow him on Instagram. That's before I knew
I
that
think
he was
half of
Muslim.
Atlanta follows
Can you,
him
can
on
you give
social
everybody
media.
your Instagram so they can wait till you post it so they can find him?
Yes,
I
I will
wanna
give it
see.
after the show.
Yeah.
I want to see.
How about this? How about after this? I'll do like whenever
Why
we
don't
post
we
the video.
just invite
I'll
Muddy
do a
Bear on the show?
No.
How about that?
Everybody gonna say their
don't
social
invite
media.
him on the show.
Come on, Maxine.
Sidebar.
I
Speaking of
reclaim
Maxine, have y'all seen her album cover? She has an album
Yeah, I
coming
saw
out.
that one. That one
She got
And
an
it's
album.
called Reclaiming My Time, right? And one of the
We
songs
gotta
is
protect
featuring-
this black girl magic. That's a black grown woman
That's
magic.
a black grown
When I tell you,
woman magic.
defending,
like-
she has a song featuring Dorinda Clark Cole. That shit is, that jump bumping. And
I tell you this,
Straight
if
to
they
the
fuck with
answer.
Maxine Waters, it's gonna be damn
Oh.
war. These black people's not having it.
Yeah.
I mean, black people not having it anyway, but that's
I
neither
love
here
Maxine
nor
Waters.
there.
I would vote for her.
Vote. Her not voting into my dead auntie name, everybody name. Shit.
Because
Let me
this,
not say that because y'all know Trump is trying to find somebody who been voting illegally.
Yeah.
Well, he already is sicking the police on everybody, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I'm so
That's-
tired of that.
We
That
said
fuck
we're
nigga.
not doing politics today.
I was gonna say, but I would. DC said that because I was gonna ask about the transgender bill, but we can wait on that.
It's
Oh
not a
my
real
God.
bill. It was just something he said.
And the
Okay.
military is not even
Yeah.
like going along with it.
No, he's just. It was literally something he just said on Twitter.
This nigga said
Like-
everything.
Anyway,
He's so.
he finally blocked Christy Teigen. Christy
Yeah.
Teigen, I thought that was hilarious.
hilarious.
I love her though
Mhm.
because
Well,
she.
Keisha Cole still got me blocked, so hey.
Okay, so does anybody follow her? Does she follow anybody? Because I really need her
Keisha
to
Cole?
unblock me. Because when I
Chrissy
remixed her
Keisha?
shit, Keisha, when I remixed her shit,
She blocked me because
retweeted
all
it.
I asked her was how much was her fish plates at the BET Awards.
See, you started
See,
that.
you can't be doing that.
You
Well, she
started
started
that.
when she tried to come for did she try to come for? I don't even remember, girl. I just don't like
I
her.
like.
I love Keisha.
I
Kaya blocked
I
me
do
too.
not.
But who is that?
I don't like
I don't
Keisha
know
Cole.
her.
But I know why Kaya blocked me because she was talking about
I
Solange
don't like
and
her.
I wasn't having it.
Oh yeah, you.
I'm sorry.
Wait, who is this other individual?
Kaya talked about Solange. I
Kaya
don't
got
talk
hips
about
that
Beyonce.
stick like grits. You will not do Kaya. Case closed. Next case.
Who is that? I don't know.
better
her.
respect me.
Right, right.
RESPECT. You
And
better
she didn't even
respect
spell
me.
the full word. She's like RESPE, respect me. RESPE.
Yeah. Now she gonna block all of us. Thank
Now,
you.
She blocking the show.
but I'm gonna tell you for real though, she got this one record called "Snatch the Cat Back."
Oh,
When
Can't
I
wait
tell
for
you,
you. It's my song.
when I tell you, when I first heard that, I hollered, but it was just like, you make a bitch fun. Snatch the cat back. I was like, oh, okay.
I
Come
like
on,
Yum Yum
Cat.
Apparently she performed in New York. This
I
year.
Y'all have
I
fun
like
with
Yum
that.
Yum songs. That's what that song that they play in the club. And
I would play the song, but
it doesn't
she'll definitely
taste-
serve us a 6
I
to
don't
this.
know.
Right.
It doesn't
We just
taste like
talked about
Yum
her.
Yum
She
sauce.
petty
Gotta
enough
play
to,
her- no,
she
song,
petty
right.
enough to serve us.
Right.
She
She
gonna
will
sue
get
our
enough
asses.
following just from us talking about it anyway.
I
Too
got
much.
blocked by Delicious.
Really?
Really?
I met her at an airport. That ass is fat.
Right? I got blocked by Delicious.
God.
All I
Then she
said
got
was
mad at me.
wow on the picture. Somebody,
She
okay.
wasn't having it.
No,
What?
somebody wrote, you can see devil horns behind her, right? She was doing a turn. And so I looked at the video and you could see devil horns behind her. So all I said was wow at that person. And she blocked me.
Oh yeah, they will block your ass for co-signing some shit.
Nah, but
What?
you see, I met her at the
Yeah.
airport and she got mad at me because I told her, I was like, man, I remember when I used to be in love with you. Like I used to you just crush on you from watching Flavor of Love.
Because you said used to.
Exactly. She was like, used to. And I'm like,
Girl, stop being pressed.
mind you, this is probably like I had seen
I
Delicious
heard she
in
got
person.
some of the ass sucked out and she's like performing now. I don't know. She could be like the
It
Puerto
is
Rican
smaller than what it was
I
on
mean, she
TV.
can really sing. Like all
What
jokes
is she
aside, she
singing?
really can sing. She had a song come out around the time of the
I mean,
show
we learned
called
that
Rump
on the
Shaker.
show.
Rump
And-
shaker,
Rump shaker, rump shaker. Yeah! I was like, okay, come on, rump shaker.
I don't know shit.
I was very hurt that she blocked me. Like I had to add her on my makeup page.
Yeah, it's a hot little nigga.
Girl, don't say the name because she may block
know.
her.
She may block you again.
I'm about
Somebody
scared.
go in there.
I'm scared to share my Instagram on here because
We're gonna get blocked by everybody.
I'm gonna
That's
get
cool.
blocked by everybody. Donald
Cle-
Trump, the first one. You gonna
Clearly,
get
they were
I
blocked.
don't give a
impressed
fuck
off
about
what I
him.
said.
Right.
What's a Donald Trump?
A toy.
That's y'all president. I still
It's a
claim.
fuck nigga.
That's y'all's president. I still claim
Who's
Obama.
president?
That's y'all
Who's president in
president.
this room? Who?
Yeah, like,
Who?
I don't know what y'all talking about because
I
my
don't
president
recall.
took a 4-year vacation.
Right. He'll be back.
He was
Michelle?
under too much stress, and he said, you know,
His hair started to become gray.
y'all will be okay for 4 years.
I was like, how your hair turned
Yeah.
back black? Like, I've never seen that before.
Who?
Barack.
Because he was over y'all shit.
Right, he went on vacation. Next thing you know, all that gray was gone. It was back to jet black. I was like, how? How?
just for men.
No, I mean,
Just for me.
I can't. Oh, we should talk about dating.
Okay, so let me just say, in general, my dating life is in shambles.
Oh, everybody's dating life in shambles. I'll let that shit go.
Mine's a little
Mine.
rocky.
Mine's is,
Yours is rocky?
Mine's is fine. No, I actually finally met this really amazing guy.
No shade, Travon.
Oh Lord!
Oh my God! I can't.
Oh Lord!
The shade that's about
I
to
know
fall
exactly
upon
what
us.
he's finna say.
No, you don't, because it's about to be nice. Travon, you always have this like, it's fine, and then something happened, and I'll be like, girl, like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you be telling the truth about. That's what I mean.
So he's
It's good to
implying
be
that you're lying.
He's just
right?
being optimistic
I
about
don't.
it.
This is a new relationship. I'm just saying, when he had to break up the last time,
Yeah, he had.
I found out so much
he had
stuff that you never told me, and I was just
Yeah.
like,
So it's just layers on top of layers.
I wish I could be
Yeah.
optimistic. I feel like every person that I encounter ain't shit. Like
Me
I
too.
Nah,
automatically.
you see, for
I
me,
feel that
that's
way
how I am
about
now.
everybody.
I used to have
I'm
so
such a
much
lovable
hope,
person.
and I was
But-
just watching this YouTube video, and there was like something about believing people, like stop following people with potential, because I see someone with potential, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can make it work. Like yeah, he or she's on the right path, and I'm like, nope. Like now, I'm like, fuck that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, potential don't pay the bills. My thing
Exactly.
is, I need consistency. I need somebody who loves God. Can we have honesty? Can we be respectful?
And
Can
dick.
we communicate?
Dick.
No gummy bears. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that either.
Floppy. Oh, little. Oh, I was thinking like not hard.
I don't like. Never mind. We ain't even there. I don't like big dicks. I've turned several people. Girl, I'm not.
I just look.
I
at
get
you
scared
because,
away.
I just look
I
at
get
you
scared away.
because you know I
But
didn't
I-
know that you. And
Yeah, I was like, you. I
They
thought you
were-
give
What you,
it,
Coloring newspapers.
like switching.
what you?
I didn't know y'all were
Like
flip
I thought you just
flopping.
give.
I didn't know.
It happened once. It'll happen again.
Oh.
I mean, but
But-
y'all are a couple, so
Yeah,
I
we're a
mean,
couple.
Yeah, so
We
it's
try
it's,
a lot of things.
it's understandable.
I just don't like big dicks. I've had several people, and that turns me off. Like I get offended. Like, what the fuck you want me to do with this?
Not me.
What the? It's a, oh Lord. I shouldn't even say. It's a coworker.
Ooh.
Not
Oh Lord, he
present.
cheating with his coworker.
No,
Oh Lord.
a past coworker. We used to flirt, and I thought they was kind of cool. And you know, I wanted to be a hoe. I saw some pictures and some videos and some movies.
Uh oh.
On Tumblr.
More than likely.
I ain't
Or
gonna put
my
all that.
Vister.
We gonna move on.
Isn't
Just
Tumblr like the
ignore
next
that.
go-to instead of Pornhub?
let me
I don't
finish.
know. I go to what do I
But
do?
that
Like
thing
creamy
was
pussies.
huge.
Creamypussy.com.
I've heard of that. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yes, I do. Yes,
I
I
like
do.
seeing the cream because it makes it seem like they're into it. I don't like dry fucking.
Understandable. No, that makes
I like
sense.
when
No,
they
no,
I
no.
got a
Word.
question. I don't like. Mom. Hope she okay. She ain't crashed my car. What is the biggest dick shot ever?
12.
Dealt with?
12.
Yeah.
Girl. I think it was a 9, and I was just like, girl. 12.
Yeah. There was one that was like
Yeah.
it was like a 12 or a 14, but it was like
Well.
girth. Right. So let's go. So dating.
What's the
Awful.
question? You what the?
I was trying to get that and y'all started talking about everything else.
Big dicks. There you go.
Right, exactly. So has anyone like actually made the first move?
What do you mean?
Or the first move, like you see somebody you're interested in and you approach them.
No,
Yes,
I've never
I'm
done
tired
that.
of making the first move though. That's
So
a
you
new thing.
No,
for me.
I mean it's fine because there's some people in the room who have never
I've
made the first
done
move.
it.
I've
I
never
sent the
made
first
the first
message on
move.
Jax.
I've done it. I made the first
Right.
move.
I've done it, yeah.
I
Like, I've done it a
up to
couple
them.
times.
I just go up to them
I
and
never walked
stick
up
my
to
chest
them.
out and jiggle. You know, that's why you call me Danjiggly and be like,
I really
hi.
want to do it like one day. I want to see like how somebody react. I'm afraid of rejection. I think
That's why like I don't do it as
I don't do
often
it.
like as I used to. But
Rejection is protection.
Not
But
all the
I ain't got time to bust a nigga in their head.
Not all the time, because
Rude.
some people be acting like they too good to even say hello.
And
my
that's
thing,
protection. You don't need that type of nigga around you.
My thing
he
is-
probably paint and color everywhere. Just make a big ass mess in your bed. Protection is protection, buddy. I'm telling you.
I just feel like if they reject, that's their loss because
right,
my
exactly.
pussy pops
I
severely.
ain't missing nothing. I ain't missing nothing. I cook. I got
throw
some
my
bomb
pussy
ass
in the air. It
sex.
turns into sunshine.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
You never saw that movie?
Wait,
That's,
what did it say?
Harlem Night.
Harlem
You've
Night,
never
yeah.
seen
You
that?
never seen
Wait,
it?
no. What was the line?
My pussy. So,
If
he was like,
I
my
throw my
so
pussy in the
good.
air, it turns into sunshine. You've never heard
That
that?
sounds like a line from the movie Superstar.
But it is. I just look at it like, because I done got turned down before. But I just look
I
at
hope
it
we
like,
all
it's
have
your
got turned
life.
down.
It's your
I've
loss.
never gotten turned down.
I have, honey. I done got turned
Hey,
down
you
in
see
the
what else got you?
land.
I don't like fat bitches.
No, but seriously, that's why you playing. That's the only complaint that I get that my in terms of sex is that my dick is too big.
Somebody send me a picture of this.
I don't see how people complain on Big Dick. I'm sorry.
You're not gonna show us the- Show
I
us
just
that
take
picture.
it
You can show
very
y'all a picture.
well. I do it very well indeed. I love it. It's amazing. You know.
I like regular size.
I feel like I'm a power
We're supposed to be on dating.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're on
If that's my
dating.
favorite
Favorite
thing,
dick,
is
sure,
a
my
power
favorite
verse.
already seen it, girl.
I like
I mean,
hook
sex
dicks.
is part of dating. I mean,
Oh, I like hook dicks.
I have one.
Which way does it curve? Yes. G-spot.
Everything that goes up don't always gotta come
I
down.
can't with y'all. I can't with
see,
y'all.
that's
Oh my
nice.
god.
That's too much.
that's you.
Yes.
Oh, see, that's nice.
I gotta go pray. See, I'm too
Girthy.
close. I gotta move. It
But
may
back
poke
to
me somewhere.
dating.
Damn.
So half the room has never made a first move. The other half had. Well,
Yes,
no,
I have.
DJ, you have all the
I
time.
always. Mhm.
You always make the first move.
I
That's
do.
my asshole picture too.
Yes. And I always end up disappointed.
Mm.
I always make the first move. Nah,
What about flirting?
I'm a flirter. That's who I am.
I'm gonna let y'all go because I'm about to change it a little bit, but it's about flirting.
I don't know.
I flirt real hard.
I don't really flirt that much. I mean, guys are attracted to me because of my geekiness, but when I
That's
really
what
like
do.
somebody,
I do the same thing. Like I'm a nerd, so I just use that as my.
I
attract
just be myself, and I hate when guys be trying to be flirty with me, and then they go into the whole, they go straight forward. So what we gonna do it? When we gonna fuck? You
Don't sound
know?
like that.
But you know what? I'm a victim
Of what?
of doing that. Because I'll text somebody, I'll be like, look, I'm direct. I'm straight to the point. I'll be like, look, you cute and all. Why are you trying to take my stocking cap
I'm
off
not.
my
I'm just
head?
trying to figure out why it's on.
Because I conditioned my hair this morning. Yes. Shea button and everything. But I'm very direct. So my thing is, I'll be like, hey, what's up? You cute or whatever. Or hey, what's up? You got a fat ass. When we gonna fuck? Like, or hey, what's up? When you gonna come over and give me some head?
Right.
I mean, it's flirting, but it's being direct as well. Because my thing is, if I'm horny and I'm about to drill a hole through the wall, I don't want to waste time. I just want to get to the point.
I'm sorry.
You got a fat ass. I want to fuck. What you do? What we gonna do? You come to my house. I'm coming to your house. We can get in the car, in the back seat, at McDonald's, in the bathroom.
Oh no!
Let me know. Let me
I
know.
appreciate straight to the pointness because it's like, let's get to the shit.
It's kind of
Let's get
scares
to
me.
what we getting
It
ready
kind of
to
Get
scares
to
me
the
because it's
shit.
like if you're straight to the point with me, then just
Alright,
imagine what you're telling other people.
The same damn thing.
Yeah.
So what we gonna do? We gonna have a group session. We gonna have a sex party. What we doing?
And that just makes me think that you are completely like quick. And I like to like go in just slowly,
I just don't like the games. I
hey.
just feel like people be playing games when they be doing that. Like, oh, you're so beautiful. Okay.
Avery, what's your flirting story?
I don't flirt that much, or I've never been the one to flirt that much. But I find it weird that I feel like I flirt with straight dudes.
Oh, I
Quotation
do too.
marks.
I do
quote,
too.
air quotes. And it surprises me. I'm not gonna, because this person may be listening. But occasionally I'll be like, is this nigga flirting with me?
Mm.
And it's just, I don't know. Like, I really want to ask this question. Do y'all find yourselves flirting with straight dudes?
I do.
And it's like, do they know they're flirting or they just...
I flirt with everybody.
Well, so everybody says that I'm flirting. I really just think I be being friendly.
Because I really want to say this, but I feel... I don't know if they're going to listen to the show. Well, fuck it. They listen to the show, they listen to the show. But this person on Snapchat the picture laying in the bed and was like something about, I need company. So I snap, just making a joke because we're friends, because I'm in a relationship. And I was just like, you over there thirst trapping. And they was like, LOL, I know, right? And then it kept adding, and I was like, okay, okay, that's it. Like,
right, I'm supposed to stop it. I know, right? Like, done.
I know you've been here for how long, and I know, like, chill, but I find myself flirting with straight dudes a lot, and it's not even intentionally. It's just like I'll say something, and then they'll say something back, and I'll be like,
it's funny because I feel like I'm more comfortable flirting with a straight.
Me too.
Yeah,
does it feel like it's
weird,
like not
but
competition, but like a conquest?
I don't think that he's
define
flirting with him.
Conquest, like if you get them, you know what I'm saying? Like you
is it like
I don't like to turn
you
people
shooting your
out.
shot.
No,
I don't like to turn people out either.
I feel like
that's a zero.
Why?
What's wrong with that?
Somebody had to turn you out, right?
Ain't nobody turn me out, girl.
No, I made my own decision.
I was watching Queer as Folk.
I was watching Noah's Ark.
But I'm saying no.
I was watching porn.
Right.
I turned myself out.
And the L word. I can't stand
love the L word,
It's
but I didn't like
bad.
how they kept fingering. Like, that's not all women do to each other.
They make it seem like I was
hate
like,
it.
Yeah, that's all they do is
it.
show people like power finger fucking.
Like I said, I like when females squirt. I love it. I'm proud to say as a gay man, I have made a female squirt.
Well, you
I'm very proud.
Look at
Yes.
you. Good
I
job.
do it all.
That's hard work right
15
there.
too.
you're bi and you're sexually fluid. So I feel like you're sexually fluid too. Do you flirt with females?
Yes, I do.
I found myself flirting with females too.
Females flirt with me more than I flirt with them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a friend. She's crazy. When she get drunk, she's out of control. And she knows this. And I told her, like, when you get drunk, you be trying to fuck anything, anybody, whether they gay, straight, or whatever.
Jesus,
And it's just, I just be
Nazareth.
like, girl, like, get off of me. Get off of me, dick. Like, no, it's not going in. It's not coming up. I know I said it never go down, but girl, sometimes it does. But
So even if she like gave you some head, you don't think it would just be like
Has she given you some head before?
I think I've said this like when we hung out before, but when it comes to a female, I'm never going to say I would never have sex with a female. I'm insecure in that department. When it comes to a male, I know how to turn a male on. I know what I like about a male. With a female, I don't know. So I don't like women to get that close to me because I'm just like, if it gets hard, it's going to be like, like it's going to be that moment of like a dude getting hard off another dude. I'm going to be like, what the fuck is going on?
like Mr.
So-
Krabs. You know what I'm talking about?
It's going to fuck my whole brain up.
Oh my God, I can't.
So, yeah, that's my story. Maybe one day I can have, no.
I feel like I am.
I'm going to say I have a threesome with another dude and a female. And then maybe that could ease me into it. I don't know.
That's my favorite porn to watch. Bisexual porn.
Oh, same here.
I love to see.
Oh, cause you see everybody, right? Like, oh.
Reveal. I don't like tranny porn.
I just
Well,
like
Wait.
Really?
Like,
They be having
like T.S. Madison.
No, she scared me.
T.S. Madison?
Both. But I was talking about
Really? Huh.
male to femme, because my turn on is I like masculine men. I like when a masculine man is getting bitched out, or kind of like a thug top, thug bottom. That is interesting to me. So, and it's mostly with transsexual porn. So that I don't be watching that side of the thing. I just be watching them, and I be like, yeah, he's taking that dick, but you think you're a thug. It's really weird, but yeah.
I saw a tranny porn where she was fucking a girl and she made that girl cream up. That shit was so hot.
the way you make it sound like I just instantly went to the little tub of whipped cream and just got from the frozen food section.
That's what it be
Oh
looking
my
like.
God! You really do know why you playing. Why you
Oh
playing?
my God.
Put your face in that shit,
As long
bitch.
as it's white
My
and not
favorite.
And not brown.
Yeah.
Brown or beige.
Chlamydia.
Or if
said
you're
this.
Usher green.
Oh, hell no.
I said this earlier. I said, like, I have a confidence. So, like, because I have a confidence, masturbation videos are usually my favorite. I love, like, there's this one dude, and he comes so much. So much.
The way he said it.
Just so much. And
It's not
just
easy
like,
being a squirter. Like, it's a lot to deal with.
I'm a
It's easy for me.
I'm a squirter. And
Well,
it's
apparently
like,
you squirt and make people squirt.
right. No, I'm a squirter, so it's like, it's everywhere.
I'm a shooter, and I just make people flood. I just like porn.
Don't be papping my head like girl, because I don't know, girl.
No, you don't know.
Okay.
You don't know, but some of your listeners.
What's the craziest thing y'all ever done doing sex?
Picked up the phone and called Pizza Hut.
Oh!
don't
Because
know.
I was bored.
What does
And
crazy
hungry,
mean?
What do you mean by
I was
crazy?
bored.
Yeah, what you mean by crazy?
The craziest thing, like probably the most.
Nothing's crazy to me. Well, the craziest thing that I've done, I've given head underwater.
That's not.
That's the craziest thing, because everything else ain't crazy. It's normal.
I've given
Like,
head underwater before. It's,
I
well, no, it is something special, honestly. Just gotta make sure you breathe, you know?
How you gonna breathe under there?
I don't know if mine is crazy. It's
So
just
you
messy
calling
as
somebody
fuck.
on the show?
No, somebody's calling me
Uh-huh.
on the show.
My crazy thing, I guess, was when I was dealing with baby Zaddy.
Oh.
He nutted in me, and I pushed it out into a shot glass and drank it.
No!
And that is it for this week's episode of
That's
ATL.
That's done.
We have nothing else to talk about.
Oh my God!
Please follow
That
us
was
at
hot,
Nothing on
though.
ATL on Twitter and Facebook.
Yep, you win.
Yeah.
You win. Okay, like we need to move. Like we can just end the whole sex segment. Like
Oh,
for the rest of the recording. Like we don't even need to talk about
Well,
it.
let's skip down.
Let's move on to something else.
I think that viewers clearly know between episode 1 and episode 1B. Girl,
he's nasty.
do y'all think the America?
No, I already know what you about to
I
ask.
clearly have went straight to the new topic. Do y'all think America is ready for a gay president?
Not at all. No, they couldn't even
I don't
handle a
think
black
so.
one. Black straight
I
one.
think so.
I don't think so. It's still a lot of homophobia.
They need a
people in this
lesbian
country.
But it's still it's still racism.
We couldn't even get a straight
Yeah,
woman.
I know,
I know.
And in order for us to even get a gay president, we'll need another black president or a Latino president.
No, we would literally need at least one more black, another Latino, probably an Asian one,
Yeah.
and then 3 women, and then finally maybe
Girl, I don't think we'll be allowed all these people.
We
What's
won't.
that Asian lady that used to be on Saturday Night Live?
Trisha Tawanaka.
Yeah, I want her as the president.
Dude, Trisha Tawanaka is the
I want
Asian
Maxine
reporter on Family
Waters.
Guy.
So I'm just like,
I'll say Maxine.
yeah, that's the guy. I'm like,
Every time you say Maxine Waters, I know who you're talking about, but I keep thinking about Maxine Shaw.
Actually,
At this point,
Maxine
we'll take
Shaw
her too.
would make an amazing president. What are you talking about?
The fuck?
Like,
Oh my God.
Maxine Shaw would make a great
Because
president.
I feel like we playing deal or no deal right now with this one. Like,
I don't know. I mean, didn't he just replace like a Secretary of State or something? I don't even know.
girl,
It's
if you,
ridiculous.
he always
Girl,
finds somebody.
But it would take, but to have a gay president,
it's like you reporting that man to HR. He'd be like, next.
Yep.
Let's get back to the gay president.
right. So, like for a gay president, you would need that person would have to be like so charismatic across the board. He would have to be if it's a male, he would have to be like charming, be able to drink a beer with whoever, be very like
So masculine.
masculine.
he
You have
don't
to be
have to be a top.
extremely not
Malign Christopher.
Actually,
Oh,
most
right.
most of the
Now,
masculine
what-
guys, like most masculine gay guys that I know, most of them are bottoms.
Really?
I mean, you'd be surprised.
You'll be surprised.
you
There are
hang out with
feminine
your
tops.
A ton of them. Especially in Atlanta.
They're these girls that get the breasts and
Fem
still got
top,
the dick. They be
thug bottom.
topping.
Fem top,
Mhm.
thug bottom.
Okay. Anyway, but no, but like, there's so many like political. Like, he would have to be. He'd have to be gay, but his family would have to be like. Y'all watch Scandal?
No.
It almost be. It have to be like almost structured like Cyrus's family was.
Okay.
Like where he had like the super attractive spouse, the little black baby, like literally has to be so like a mixed family because like regardless of race he is, like like no one's gonna just be like, oh yeah, we want a gay president. Like
Follow-up question.
okay.
Because I know a black gay Republican. Would you vote for him if he was a Republican?
Black gay Republican?
Depends on what his exact views were.
It's against my will to vote for anybody.
Because I feel like everybody thought, I don't know how the fuck they thought we was gonna vote for what's the man name? He's the doctor.
Oh,
Ben Carson.
Yeah, Ben Carson.
And we was not having that. We
Did
was
you
like,
see
girl,
his commercial?
No, don't even.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This man said once this man said he never received government assistance, and then in the same interview said that his family received food stamps. I was like, girl.
It was a complete lie. Anybody who read his book knew he was lying.
Yeah.
Like, but no, I think if it was a black Republican, it has to be someone who's like in the middle. Because I know I've had that political debate with myself, like internally, constantly. Because having like the career that I have and the pay that I have, and then growing up like in Louisiana, like my mom technically was considered like below middle class, but we didn't qualify for food stamps, even though she had a job that was making less than enough. So and at the same time, I'm sitting there watching my friends whose parents have like 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12 kids getting food stamps and living on Section 8. And my mom literally didn't qualify for it because the fact she had a full-time job always bothered me. So it's like, for me, like, so it's like, so I went back and forth when it comes to like political parties. Like I tell people, like I'm neither. Like I do independent or whatever because I'm like I don't fully like agree with what the Democratic Party sells, but there's a lot of stuff in the Republican Party I don't agree with either. But it's like I'm kind of in the middle on both sides.
You're like independent.
I actually I know that's off topic. But this year I didn't want to vote Democrat. So I really did my research because I feel like as Black people, even with religion, I feel like I was raised to be Christian. I never chose that, and I never had the opportunity to choose it. Same with being a Democrat. So I really was like, no, I may be a Republican. Like, it's going to be dope. So I really researched, and I was like, girl, no, not at all. The shit they believe in, girl, I couldn't. But I also, I think her name was Jill. She was independent, and I wanted her. She was great, except for one thing that she did, but this was when she fell out the running.
Did she get somebody with a car?
No, it was something that she believed in as far as like energy or something. I was like,
and what is that?
That was stupid. I don't even remember.
She probably was against alternative energy and probably.
But
or something.
I didn't vote for her because I looked at the numbers. I was like, girl, I'm basically wasting the vote if I vote for her. And I know that sounds bad because if everybody who believed that voted independent, we could possibly have an independent president. But yeah, Bernie is.
I love Bernie.
I
wanted Bernie to make it so hard.
All that white man wanted to do was fight for us, and we could not do it.
Because y'all wanted Hillary. And y'all know exactly.
Not
y'all in the room, the listeners.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Y'all wanted
all
Hillary.
just had a Bernie moment.
I called
Hillary.
and I said, Hillary, you need to get him as your
VP something.
Yeah.
He needs to be on your board.
But Barack got on TV talking about if you vote not for Hillary, it's a waste of a vote.
And I was still like, I don't care.
Right.
When they announced that Donald Trump was going to be our president, I literally rolled over on my floor and just threw up because I was just mortified. I couldn't believe that Black people I was like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, really is wrong with y'all?
Let me rephrase the question so we can talk about it if it's a show. When you first heard that Donald Trump was your president, as you being a Black, bi, gay, sexually fluid person in your own lifestyle, how did you feel like that would affect you, and what was your worries?
I was like super worried. I feared my life, actually.
Go ahead.
I feared my life. I think it was just scary because I was like, oh my God, my gay rights are going to go away. I'm not going to be able to be free. And then I'm a Black person. And that nigga don't really care about no damn Black people. Mm-hmm. So I felt like, oh my God, this is the end of America, in that particular perspective. I didn't feel right. I still don't feel right to this day.
It's going to sound horrible.
Is he still going to be that wall?
I'm just grateful that
we ain't got the money for it.
I'm just grateful that I got $1 million life insurance policy because I feel like I'm going to.
What job you working at? You want to get married?
He needs it because he's a singer.
Right.
He gonna need that.
I know for me, and this is gonna sound horrible, Because of my job, I knew I would be protected. Because one thing about the company that I work for is like, when it comes to like gay rights, African American rights, everything, they're like they're in the front of the pack. So like the company I work for, they have like 100% on the HRC equality like scale and all this other stuff. So I knew that my rights within my job would be protected. But the bad part about it was like, shit, that means I can't leave my job at least for the next 4 years till this man is out of the presidency. Now, as being a black man, it was a little harder because at that point, my client, I was in Idaho. And being in the middle of America right in the middle of this election was already bad. Being in the middle of America, like after the results came out, was worse. And by far, like, that's when I became scared. If I was in Atlanta, because a lot of people, like, I've had this conversation with a few people who are older than me, and they're like, a lot of people don't realize that major cities are in these bubbles.
Yeah.
So no one actually sees what the rest of the country sees.
Yeah.
And it was like, when I was in Idaho for work, it was like my hotel was across the street from a gas station. I was like, okay, I went get like a 5-hour energy or something. Walked over, and this guy was like, he was eyeing me down in like the gas station. And I'm like, I'm here, like, I'm a visitor. I'm literally just walking away, so I ain't paying no mind. And, like, didn't say nothing in the store, whatever. I'm like, okay, so I'm leaving, literally walking literally right across the street. And he just started yelling. He didn't say, like, he didn't yell like nigger or something. He was just like, I forgot what the fuck he said. He was like, yeah, Donald Trump or fuck Barack. Something that dealt with the, like, politics. This was, like, the day after the election. And I was like... And I was ready, like, and the worst part is, like, he was a coward and a punk because this little dude was, like, he didn't say nothing to me in the store, walked out of the store, didn't say anything. He got in his car, waited until I started walking, said what he had to say, and then sped off. Because I'm like, oh, because I know, because you a punk, because if you was real, you'd be able to talk to me about it face to face, but you're not.
And just to piggyback off of what he said, did anybody notice that, like, right after Donald Trump was elected the president, it was like these white people started acting a goddamn fool on the highways,
I don't care.
on the roads, like they would cut you off and not even think twice about it.
They think they in control, and that shit would just piss me the fuck off.
Oh, I put them in check.
They could just treat you
constantly.
in any type of way.
So the white man get on my nerves.
So for me...
White supremacy.
Right. And all that other nonsense.
For me, when Donald Trump won, I was disappointed. I felt bad being a woman, kind of, because Hillary didn't make it. You know, like, it just felt like I thought we were ahead. You know what I mean? Like, I thought we were...
Want to be there.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like they still think that women are less than. And I'm not saying that she was a good candidate. Right, that too.
Let me stop.
I'm not saying that I think she was a good candidate, but I really didn't expect for him to win.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, my daughter comes home the next day, or maybe a few days later. It was so long ago I can't remember. But she came home with tears in her eyes and said, "Mom, are we going to have to go to Africa?" And so,
oh wow.
I said, "Why did you say that, Jolie?" She said, "Because the kids on the bus was saying that to me."
Ooh.
And
you a good parent.
No.
Yeah,
like I would have been on the bus the next day.
It did. I try not to
like,
cry in front of my daughter, but that hurt my heart because, and it's not. Her school is mixed, but it wasn't white kids saying that. It was black kids saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get sent to Africa. We're going to have to get out of America. And I'm just like, why are y'all saying that? And that means that the parents are the ones that's saying that in front of their children.
Exactly.
So I had to deal with that. And then she came home another day crying because her teacher is Muslim. We have Muslims in our family. And she came home crying saying, is my teacher going to get sent away?
Right.
So, it's not just affecting us. It's affecting the children.
Right.
And that's what hurts me the most because I didn't want to have to talk about that to my daughter.
Yeah.
I didn't want her to have to go through that. I went through a lot of stuff when I was younger, being bullied about my skin tone, being bullied about stuff like
Same
that.
Here.
And I thought that was over with, but my daughter, that's a whole nother subject. But I just didn't expect it to be as bad as it has been.
I think the world was really quiet the day that he won because I had to go to school the next day. And first of all, my professor was just like, we're having a really fucked up day today. He was this white gay man or whatever.
He's
really
they
cool.
flocked to Hillary.
Yeah.
Oh, because I went to
He was
HRC
like-
gala and that's all they were talking about. Like Hillary,
Yeah.
Hillary. I'm like, she all right.
But
She didn't
he
like y'all
was
like
just
5 years
like,
ago, but that's
I'm
okay.
disappointed. I'm highly upset. The school was quiet. Martha was quiet. Downtown was probably the most quiet I've ever even heard. I'm like, damn, it's a quiet day today. It sounded as if though someone died. And everybody knew about it.
We did die. American.
I feel like that's how the world is going to be if like Beyonce ever sunsets one day.
Before we get into that,
I'm not mentally ready for that. With my boycott Beyonce shirt on right now, like I'm not ready for this. Like,
for me, I would say I feared I had a dream because I went to sleep before the election results came out. I had a dream and I woke up, and in my dream, I had the dream was about Donald Trump taking president, and I woke up and I was just like, that was a terrible ass nightmare.
Yeah.
And I woke up to realize that I guess my TV was
on.
on or something that my brain was getting ready for because that was my realization or my reality then. But I worried, kind of like you said, I didn't worry about my particular job at that moment. I worried about my transgender brothers and sisters, my other gay brothers and sisters who are in this world and who don't have the opportunities that I have to be at a job that is open or to at least be able to be themselves, to at least be able to hide and fit in America. And then I worried already with the things that was going on with black men and black boys with the police that it was only going to get worse, and it has. So I worried not even for myself, but I worried for other people, and I worried for the state of the world because I felt honestly like it was really going to be like a civil war. Black people, or I would say minorities versus the majority people was going to fight and clash, and I'm still not at the point where I don't think that's going to happen. We're heading to where I can see it happening, but I was worried about other people, and I was really worried about that. I still am, especially with the bill or whatever President Mr. Donald Trump has said about transgender people, because I have a very close friend who is in the military, and I know there's several other people in the military who have joined the military or who have benefited from having health care from being in the military. And there's people who really want to fight for their country. I don't agree with it. I don't want to ever fight, but I respect those.
Not for this country.
But I fear for those people who are having their rights taken away because one person believes that they're not equal to them.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I like to say, not only am I black, I'm a man. Not only am I black and a man, I am gay. Not only am I a black man and gay, I'm fat. So like, I don't fit in this normal bubble of what society wants me to be. So it's very hard for me. Yeah.
Educated.
Yeah. Educated.
Well, so May 2018. I'll be
good.
But you know what makes it even more sad? Seeing the comments of people that I guess it doesn't affect. They're like, oh, we shouldn't have to pay for that anyway. But you're not paying for it. Like, I just don't understand how people have this concept that they're paying for something when, okay, so it's okay for people to join the military so they can go to college for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's okay. Oh, we'll pay for that. But for somebody to join the military and want to, you know, I can't think of the word right now. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Transition?
But, yeah, transition. Thank you. Want to transition. And, like, what I read is that doesn't even cost as much.
No, it's like, what? I think I said like 10 million was like the max. And we spend billions on the military.
Right.
And I think about even when it comes to promising people college degrees, yes, they may promise hundreds of thousands of people's college degrees. But when they go out to war, half of them don't even come back.
Thank you. And that's so sad.
Yeah.
And there's not a program to be like, hey, we're going to get you ready. Because once you go there, you already have this money. You've already either got hurt. So you don't need to work or go get a degree. Right. But my thing is, what I have a problem with living in America is there's so many people out there who feel like, oh, if you're not my way of living, I can't agree with that. That has nothing to do with you. Just because you're not gay, you can't sit here and stand in the way of someone getting their benefits and their rights.
Right.
I don't agree with a lot of shit that a lot of people do, but that has nothing to do with me. I've been fortunate to always have health care. I can't sit here and say we shouldn't pay for health care because everybody's not granted the same opportunities that I have.
Right.
So that's the main problem that I have. Is just like a lot of people who've never suffered want to be like, oh, they don't need health care, they don't need welfare, they don't need this. But you're only saying that because you never used it. But there's other people out here who needs it. And there are people out here who are abusing it. But for one person there's abusing, there are at least 10 more people who definitely need it.
I worked hard for 6 years. I worked at Target, and I did not have health insurance all that time. And I was working. I wasn't full time. I was part time, so I didn't.
Well, that's how companies get away with it.
Right. I didn't get health insurance. Then when I would try to get Medicaid, they were like, "Oh, you making too much money," and I'm not making nothing. So finally, when Obamacare came out, I was able to get health insurance. I was able to get myself taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And now Trump is going in trying to get rid of it, but it helps so many people. Because I know for a fact that, like, I'm the person that was living and working and couldn't get health insurance. Yeah. And it's so fucked up. Like, somebody that's making a living, trying to do what they can do to take care of their child and can't even have insurance, can't even gotta go to the emergency room if something's wrong. Like, it's fucked up. So, like, I just feel like we need to, I don't know what we need to do, but we need to damn do something. Shit.
After all my words today that I found out that he became president, that was my second thought. Like, I didn't do enough. Like, I didn't. Because for the first time I talk about politics, I never really did that. If anybody followed me, like, for a long period of time, you know, I really try to say shit. But I try to keep that separation of religion and politics from, like, all my social media. But with this, I was just like, no, like, people need to know, like, because I can't have it. So even then, it was like, damn, I didn't do enough. I felt like I didn't do enough.
Yeah, I feel like that as an activist. I feel like I didn't do enough politically to let my people know, okay, this is the issue that's going on in our community, and we actually need to get together and come up with a plan to make our community stronger. I still feel that way to this day, because I feel like, you know, this whole, I hate this word, gentrification situation that's going on in Atlanta. I just feel like we all, as Black people, need to get together and basically save our communities, because they're taking everything one by one.
But the thing with Black people is Black people spend so much time focused on the wrong shit. That's why we can't progress. If you notice, you have the Arabs, they come over here, and I'm not racist by far, but they'll come over here and they'll get, you know, a gas station, or they'll open up a restaurant. You have Asians who come and get a nail salon. You got Dominicans who will come over here, they'll open up a beauty supply store, whatever the case may be, and they're helping theirs. But when it comes to us, it's, no, I got to be first at the table. I got to be the first to do this. It's that crabs in a barrel mentality. And that's why we'll never progress or get anywhere or get out the hood or do anything worth anything or have people look at us the way that we want to be seen, because we continuously do the same shit. But when does that get old? When do you get tired of being in the same place?
And I get that, but I don't understand, like, why do we care?
I don't know.
Like, I've been thinking about this for a long time. Like, we're always talking about, oh, well, white people see us in this light, Hispanic people see us in that light, Asians, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I've been thinking about it lately, like, do they even care about how other people see them? Like, we're the only race that sits there and worries about what every other race thinks about us.
Nah, Asian people are very...
You think so?
Yes.
You see, we know different groups, because the ones that I know, they post the same questions that the Asian dude and Get Out posted. Did y'all see Get Out?
I blame older
generations. I got it.
Thank you.
I blame older generations for the way that we are now, because, I mean, the 70s and 80s was a complete rough time, and all of those people who are now, like, adults and who are raising these children, they're not educating them about their culture. Like parents don't educate their children about their culture anymore.
But I
They
also
don't.
think some of that has to do with our responsibility because even if they didn't teach us, some parents don't teach you about life, but that
You
doesn't
can go
stop
to a
you from
library and
living.
pick up a
You
book
can
and
go
read
to a
on
library and
everybody.
pick up a book.
Right.
You have the internet to get on Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and all that other shit, but you can't get on here and do your research to find out about your history and where you come from,
But
so you can
I feel like
stay woke.
But
No, there's not a legit excuse. That's not.
I
a
feel like they
legit
don't know
excuse.
because they don't have the proper leadership in the home.
to
But what?
respond to you, I grew up in the hood all the way up until my last month of 5th grade year.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Really, y'all didn't
Yes.
see? Nobody knew.
No.
And then we moved out to Cobb, and we've been out in Cobb and Douglas forever. I had white friends from middle school all the way up into high school, surprisingly, because I'm real ratchet now. But I've been with so many like white people, Mexican, Asians. I've been very diverse to the point that I grew up in a bubble. And a lot of things that I've just become quote unquote woke. And I started to realize all these things that black people go through that I never saw because of the environment that I was in. I love my mother, but my mother at the same time taught me kind of stay out of that mess and you'll be okay. So when it comes to like black people being killed on the news, my mother's like, it's not, I wasn't never taught like, okay, this is wrong. I was always taught they did something for this to happen.
Oh, wow.
So like when there's marches and stuff, my mother, when it first started happening, my mother was like, "Oh, you're not going out there, is you? Okay, because they start shooting, and you'll be like,
Wow.
you'll deserve that." So I don't fault my mother for anything because it is up to the individual. But for me, I grew up in a different environment because my mother didn't want me to be exposed to that. But at the same time, she sheltered me from so many issues that I became blind to the issues that black people go through. It wasn't until recently that I realized that people still rob people and like crime really was going on because I stayed in the good neighborhoods, quote unquote, that you would say. So now it's like I'm coming to like myself and I'm just like, no, black people are being treated unfairly. And if you ever hear me quote, because I love to talk about PWIs and HBCUs,
What you guys say about HBCUs?
ratchet and they play with your money. Georgia State don't play with my money because they already sent me that email saying they want their money on August 8th and I got y'all a check. But I wish I did go to HBCU college because everybody I know who went to one, I look up to them and I learned so much about myself because I did grow up. I grew into myself under white people, I would say. And I was taught how to do this and how not to speak up and how to turn a blind eye instead of fighting for the shit that's right. So kind of what you were saying is parents do it, but it's also up to you to branch out and be like, hey, this isn't right, or I want to learn more about myself. Because that definitely wasn't true for me.
I mean, I was 9 years old and I learned my family history. I mean, I come from a Black Panther family, so when I learned a lot of stuff about that, it was kind of like, okay, well, I may well be the next generation's activist.
And see, let me say this. The view that I had of Black Panther was like black people just rioting with no purpose.
They're beautiful.
So I never knew the story until like later into my life. And I'm like, oh no, like we need a modern day Black Panther. Like they was fighting for our rights. You know, because you quote unquote, when people not black tell the story, it's like Black Panther was horrible people. They did this.
Right.
That's what I knew. Because also at the same time, you got to remember, my mother wasn't teaching it to me.
Right.
I was learning it from the environment that I was in and overhearing it from those people.
Well, also keep in mind, it goes back to that whole thing that I was saying earlier. It's like, we could honestly do that. Like, black dollars, they speak volume.
They do.
Yeah.
Black people created lights.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like these things. So
Hair care too.
hair care.
Yeah.
You know, if we take away those things and we stop putting our money into those businesses and start taking our money and putting it into our own businesses, you'll see a vast turnaround.
Yeah.
What was that thing that was happening? It was recent and everybody says boycott this, boycott that. and it was just
What
like,
Beyonce?
no,
Oh, no,
no,
it was
we,
the-
I don't
no,
It was
think.
probably
bank?
some type of major
Was it
store.
like-
Yeah, I think it was the
Yeah.
bank. It was like the major stores or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like people don't see that. They said boycott Chick-fil-A. I think they said boycott Macy's. Like
no. Definitely boycott Chick-fil-A.
You know what
Everybody
I mean?
should better boycott
It's
Chick-fil-A.
stuff like that, and it's just like black people. I don't know what it's gonna take. I don't know what it is, but it's like they just don't get it. But they be steady out here telling something. I'm woke. I'm woke. I'm woke. You not woke because you still doing the same.
But at the same
shit.
time, the difference is that the Black Panthers had a plan in the background. Because I remember in Louisiana, the big thing, they were like, oh, boycott the mall, like the big Louisiana mall in like Baton Rouge. And everybody's like, oh, boycott the mall, boycott the mall. And they did it. And the mall closed because they weren't getting any black business that day or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. But now what about all the people who are working in the mall who are black, who now have lost a day's worth of money?
Right.
Sometimes you got to take drastic measures for people to treat you a certain type of way.
That's the thing. So we did that. And now this person can't feed their family for a day or a week.
But that's where we come in.
But that's my point. We're not proactive. We're reactive. So everyone's like, boycott them all. And every time I'll be on social media, all right, so what are we going to do to help backfill the pay these people are losing?
That's why we need to have our own grocery stores. Because if something like that occurs, they can come in and prove that they work there or whatever the case is, and then you can give them the food that they need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no, I understand, but that was my thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, let's boycott this, boycott that," and there's no problem. But people don't realize that the bus boycott was strategically planned.
yeah.
All the boycotts in the '60s and '70s, they weren't just, "Oh, let's boycott now and do it." Like, everybody knows Rosa Parks wasn't the original person to refuse to give up her seat.
And that was she wasn't that wasn't the first time she did it either.
Right. And people don't realize that like this was like
but also, I didn't know until like a couple years
It's
ago.
fine. It's fine. You didn't go to HBCU, so your excuse. But like people don't realize that people don't realize that in the 60s and 70s, like all the stuff that MLK, the civil rights movement, it wasn't just an instantaneous thing. It was strategically planned, piece by piece by piece. Everything was executed flawlessly, and that's the issue that we're not doing. We're not doing that. We're just, let's riot, let's protest, let's do this. But what about the after? Everyone goes home and just sits, just watches the news all over again.
And the perfect example of what you just said was the pussy grabbing, like that rally. I mean, as funny as it was, I mean, you had men out there marching for vagina, and I'm just like,
to be fair, you can't even take that seriously because 53% of white women voted for Trump anyway, and so that means the majority of women out there marching voted for him.
Yeah.
So anybody want to go around any of their social media handles?
mine. Go ahead.
Mine is I am Danielle Nicole, the MUA, and that's Nicole with a CH.
You can follow me, Avery, at Fuck Your Taco. It is FVCK Your Taco.
You can follow me on all of my social media at that's I-AM, DJ, and that's D as in dog, I-J-A-I.
Double. Sorry.
Double.
You can follow
There's
me
no
on
double O,
Instagram.
darling.
You can follow me on Instagram, Travon, at BONMARKIES. That's Von Marquise.
All right, so you guys can follow me on all social media at LM Eclectique with the IQUE, or check out my website, www.lmeclectique.com.
Yeah, so that's it. How was it? How was everybody's first episode?
Dope.
It got heavy at
real
the end.
deep. I
got
know.
real
Heavy at the end. But how it went from sex to politics? Like,
I'm just glad that I said stuff. That's it for this episode of the Panel ATL. For suggestions, questions, or to submit a letter to ask the panel, please email the panelatlpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.